Let's solve question 5 now. So in question 5 we have demand for bread, and the demand for bread depends on the price. So the quantity demanded depends on price, and that's our quantity demanded. We also know that the cost for our bread is 0.5 euros, and the price that we set at the moment is 1 euro. So we want to find out the price elasticity of the demand and see how we can improve the profit. Why is this concept useful of elasticity? Think of it as sensitivity. How sensitive consumers are to our prices. If consumers don't care about the price, well, then charge more because they're pay for it. But if they're sensitive to the prices, if they can change to an alternative, then charge less because they'll not buy your product if you charge more. So in our case, we want to improve our price strategy. We want to see what we can do. So if we want to understand how the elasticity affects our profit, then we will have a function of the elasticity where we have price divided by profit times the derivative of our profit with respect to price. So the first step would be to find out the profit function depending on our price. And let's see, what's our profit function? Well, our profit function would be the difference between revenues and costs. So let's say total revenues minus total costs. And how can we write total revenues minus total costs? Well, that's the price that we charge relative to the cost that we incur, so that's our markup as we say, times the quantity demanded, so times the demand. What's the price? Well, we know that the price is going to be, let's say, P, minus the cost 0.5 times the demand, and the demand is a function of price, which is equal to 500 over P. Let's open the brackets and understand our profit function. So P times 500 over P as the first term, minus 0.5 times 500 over P times 500 over P. Let's cancel out some terms. So we have price and price cancelling out. We have now 500 minus 250 divided by P, and that's our profit function depending on our price. And we want it because now we can see how changes in prices will affect our profit. If that is the profit function, the next step is to find out the derivative of the profit. You see, derivative with respect to price. So we calculate the derivative of the profit with respect to price. Profit derivative with respect to price equals to 500 minus 250 divided by the price and differentiated with respect to price. 500 is a constant. Derivative with respect to price is just 0. Minus, and what do we have here? 250 divided by the price. Well, that's the same as saying 250 times price to the power of minus 1, because this is the same as 1 over P. That's just 1 over P. So 1 over P equals to P to the power minus 1, and we differentiate this. Now 250 is a constant in a product, so we keep it as a constant with a negative sign from here. Minus 250 times, what is the price to the power of minus 1 derivative? Well, we take the power down, and then we have price to the power of minus 1, that's just minus 2. Minus 1 times minus 250, that's 250, times price to the power of minus 2, or we could write it divided by price squared. Okay, that's our derivative. Let's write it here. That's just the derivative of the profit with respect to price. We have the derivative of the profit with respect to price. We have the elasticity function. We can solve it. So the elasticity of demand is equal to price divided by the profit function times the profit function derivative is equal to price divided by our profit function, which we found out to be over here 500 minus 250p. So we substituted 500 minus 250 over p, multiplied with the derivative, with 250 divided by p squared. Alright, what can we do from here? Well, p and p cancels out. We can see that price and price cancels out. So as a result, we would have 250 divided by 500 minus 250 over price times the price, because 1p is left over here. And if we open a bit the brackets, what do we have? Well, term by term, 500 times p is 500p, let's say 250, and here we have 500p minus 250 divided by p times p. Well, p and p cancels out, so we only have minus 250. Now the question is, how is the elasticity when price equals to 1? Well, because the price equals to €1 per bread, the elasticity at this moment is 250 divided by 500 times 1 minus 250. And that's equal to 250 divided by 250, which is equal to 1. Now, what was this whole thing about? This was the price elasticity of demand. And the price elasticity of demand shows us, in this case, what is the relationship between price and profit, because we wrote profit as a function of price. So if the elasticity equals to 1 and elasticity shows a relative change, which shows percentage change, we want to know how price affects profit in percent. Well, this elasticity proves us that when price increases by 1%, profit increases by 1%. So that means that at the moment the current price affects our profit positively at this current level. So we can increase the price to further increase the profit. We are done.